Good morning. Let us begin very simply, very humanly, because the whole world just now is circling one question under many names. Spiritual teachers and psychologists alike probing the same center. Who am I, really? And, if we are honest, we have circled it too. With improvements in mood, a little management of stress, perhaps a new affirmation or two. And still, something in us knows that unless identity is settled, fear remains on the throne, issuing its little decrees about the body, about time, about safety. Here is the quiet shock. And it is not a theory. It is the report of discovery. This is not me. This is my body. I am invisible, and that is why fear cannot rule me. Do not hurry past that. Say it within yourself, not as defiance, not as denial of the body, but as the recognition that the body is that of which I am aware. And the I that is aware is not an object to be handled, moved, cut, praised, or blamed. If you mistake the body for I, fear becomes reasonable. Of course it does. Because then the threat to flesh is the threat to life. But if you find the I that knows the flesh, that I stands where fear has no jurisdiction. The hidden engine behind most of our suffering is not the event, not the diagnosis, not even the uneasy relationship. It is the unexamined fear that assumes the self is trapped inside the body, that life is inside that skin and can be diminished by it. There is a world suggestion, without malice but with great momentum, that the body contains you. And as long as we consent to that, fear will write the story, page after page. But I am invisible, and my body is the page on which experience is written. It is not the author. Now hear this with all the firmness of love. We are not here to fix the body, to manage fear, or to dress up moods. From this moment we have one demonstration only, the realization of God's presence as our identity. We are not going to try to do anything to the body, to the problem, to the past. All we are going to do is bring to conscious awareness the presence that is already the life of us. And when we attain that, liberty is found there. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Take that as your working password in this hour. Not poetry, not comfort language. Use it at the instant fear lifts its voice. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. You will feel, even faintly at first, that you are being relocated out of the suggestion of being inside matter and into the fact of being awareness itself. God's presence realized. You can be in the body experience, but not of it. Let the body be what it is in the moment, sensation appearing in your awareness, while you rest in the one who knows. Do not let your concern be for health, for change, for signs. Let your concern be that here and now you notice the simple truth. I am not inside the body. The body is inside the I. And in that recognition, the government of fear is dismissed. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now, why does the old belief return with such authority, as if the voice of common sense itself were speaking? Because, friends, behind it is not a personal opinion, but a world suggestion, a mass hypnotism that has inserted frames into the film of human consciousness so swiftly that you and I did not consent and did not see it happen. In the old days, they told us that in the theaters there were single frames, too quick for the eye, but not for the nervous system, flashing, "Drink this, buy that," and, lo and behold, the audience found itself with a thirst it could not explain. So it is, multiplied by 10,000, with the implantation, from cradle to billboard to waiting room, of this one sentence. You are your body. You live inside that body. You rise and fall with that body. Between children's books that teach fear of germs as a religion, advertisements that canonize youth and condemn age, and the very language of medicine, money, and media, a picture is formed, and then it claims to be self-evident. Now see the practical chain that follows. If the body is I, then every sensation becomes a prophecy. A twinge in the back is the future arriving with a verdict. A line on the face becomes a countdown. A number on a lab sheet pronounces identity. Birthdays become measurements of being instead of page marks in a story read by the eye. If the body is I, then money likewise becomes circulatory system for the soul. The markets tremble, and so must you. Approval flows or dries up, and thereby life is granted or withheld. If the body is I, time is a prosecutor and matter is a jailer. Under that spell, fear is reasonable. Under that spell, hope is bargaining. Under that spell, prayer itself often becomes a plea to repair the cage. And here is the correction. And it must be said gently because it cuts. Do not fight hypnotism with positive thinking. Do not paint a prettier set on the same stage. To argue with a mirage is to confess its water. We do not do anything to error. We see it as suggestion, not law. No more law than 2 times 2 equals 5 ever had. There never was a statute in mathematics to enforce the error. There is only the light that shows it up. So with this mesmerism. Health, age, money, and approval do not govern identity. They never did. The suggestion says they do. The Spirit says, "Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given from above." Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Therefore, we are not going to try to change the body or argue down sensations. We are not going to stampede the mind with affirmations. We are going to look. We are going to let the suggestion stand in front of us and then ask, very directly, very simply, can I find the I inside the body? Not the thought about I, not the feeling about I, but the one who knows. To break a trance, you must open your eyes, not clench them. And so we will open them, quietly, honestly, to see if the I can be located in flesh, in time, in measure. If it cannot, the spell is broken at its root, and fear, having lost its subject, loses its sentence. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. From this moment, let it be settled between us, gently, firmly, without debate, that you have no demonstration to make except one: the realization of God's presence. Not a healing, not a supply, not a reconciliation, not a change of weather or numbers or news. One demonstration only. We are not going to try to do anything to the condition. We are not going to pick up the tools of thought and hammer at appearances. All we are going to do is bring to conscious realization the presence that is already here, already the life of you. And when we attain that, liberty is found there. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now I know how quickly the mind nods and says, yes, yes, of course I want God. And, I must say to you, as one who has watched his own heart play tricks, and has sat with others as theirs did too, don't be fooled by it. They don't. They want a healing. They want relief. They want God as the swiftest means to an end they have already chosen. And this is not a scolding. It is the kindest truth I can give you, because until you see it and say, "Ah, there I was," using holy words to justify hunger for outcomes, you will not know why the door sticks. When you say, "I'm not trying to get well," you have to mean it. When you say, "I seek the kingdom first," you must accept that, sick or well, rich or poor, understood or misunderstood, my object is spiritual awareness. Then, and only then, you will feel that inner shift by which the hypnotic claim of conditions begins to loosen. What do we mean by presence in felt experience? Not a thrill, not a fireworks display, not an emotion that can be tracked on a chart. Presence is the quieting of the inner wind. It is the stillness in which the panic mechanism cannot operate. It is, at first, a subtle decentering from the body drama, a soft spaciousness in which thoughts pass like clouds, but there is a you that does not pass. It is stable, inward, available in a breath or in an hour. Not because breathing makes it so, but because breathing is the simplest human way to do nothing and notice. It comes as a hush and settles as peace. Not the world's peace, not the peace of solved problems, but my peace, not as the world giveth. Use your password, not as magic, but as opening. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Whisper it within, and let its meaning stand in the room. You will discover you are being repositioned from the role of patient or fixer into the witness of God's life being itself. Why does symptom chasing fail? Because it keeps identity anchored in matter. I am the anxious one. I am the sick one. I am the one who must make this change. In that posture, even our metaphysics becomes an arm of flesh, effortful, brittle, haunted by results. You cannot testify to one power and then run errands for another. The very act of chasing outcomes is consent to the belief that a condition is your life. It never was. The condition is a picture in consciousness. The life is the consciousness in which pictures appear, change, and disappear without touching the eye. Freedom is not achieved by changing the picture. Freedom is realized when you know yourself as the light by which the picture is seen. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And so we prepare for our direct experiment. We will not try to change a sensation, not try to lift a cloud, not try to rearrange the body. We will let everything be as it is and bring awareness to what is already true until it is realized. From toe to crown we will look, not to hunt for an eye in the tissue, but to see that the body appears in the eye. Do not let your concern be for health or improvement. Let your concern be that, in quiet, you feel even the faintest surging of spirit, the unmistakable sense, I am before thought, before feeling. Then stand there. In it, but not of it, you will find the government of fear dismissed. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now we come to the point on which the whole experiment turns. And, it is not polite. It is honest. The next time fear rises, and it will, in the body, in the bank book, in the opinion of a loved one, watch for the instant offer your mind slides across the table. I will be spiritual if I get the outcome. There it is, the bargain. I'll sit in silence if the pain goes. I'll practice presence if the test is negative. I'll love my neighbor if they apologize. Dress it in as noble a language as you like, it is still the appetite for results wearing a halo. Do not condemn yourself for it. See it. Name it. Until you see that hook, you will call it devotion, while it is only a strategy to fix appearances. How sly it is. It will say, I only want health so I can serve. I only want supply so I can give. I only want youth so I can be attractive to truth. And all the while, the heart is leaning on outcomes. Don't be fooled by it. They don't want God. They want a healing. I know, my own heart has played that game and, it took me to the wall before I learned to say with integrity, I'm not trying to get well, and to mean it. When you say, I seek the kingdom, you must accept this. Sick or well, rich or poor, praised or misunderstood, I am for spiritual awareness alone. My life is not for the world's goods. My life is for God. Man shall not live by bread alone, nor by numbers, nor by youth, nor by applause, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Here is the vow that clears the field. I relinquish the bargain. I release the demand for health, for supply, for safety, for recognition. I do not let my concern be for improvement. I let my concern be that, in quietness, I feel that surging of the Spirit within me. Give up gratitude for healings. Give up gratitude for increased supply. Give up gratitude for improved circumstances. Practice gratitude for God alone, for presence itself. Be grateful that my peace, not as the world giveth, stands where conditions fluctuate. Be grateful that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Not where the lab report approves, not where the market smiles, not where the mirror flatters. How will you know you mean it? Fear will test you within the hour. When it starts its argument, do not negotiate. Do not promise longer meditations in exchange for quicker relief. Do not try to do anything to the condition. Let it be what it is in appearances, and answer with your password, not as magic, as alignment. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Then stand still. Leave your nets, the net of outcomes, the net of reputation, the net of getting, and follow me into the inner room where presence is its own reward. In that surrender, a new freedom appears. You can actually look for the I without fear steering the search. You can observe sensation without pleading, thought without panic, circumstance without bargaining. The observer is not on trial now. The body may be on a stage, but you are not the actor needing a better script. You are the awareness before the script is read. And from that standpoint, softly, without pressure, we can proceed with our direct experiment, because the one aim is settled. Realization of presence. And where the Spirit is realized, liberty is already at hand. Now, quietly, without strain, let us begin where the earth of you touches the world, at the toes. Do not wiggle them. Do not try to feel anything special. We are not going to try to do anything to them. Simply allow attention to rest there, as if you were listening with the whole of yourself to whatever is present. Warmth, perhaps, or coolness, a slight pressure of shoe or stocking, a pulse, a tingle, or even a kind of emptiness where you expected sensation and find very little. Let it be exactly as it is. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Stay a moment. Note how easily the mind says, my toes. That much is obvious. But now ask very plainly, is the aware one inside the toes, or is the aware one witnessing the toes? Do you find a tiny self packed down into the flesh, looking out? Or is it truer to say that the toes, sensation, temperature, pressure, are appearing to a you that is not a toe? What you can observe cannot be the observer. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Widen a fraction to the balls of the feet, the pads that meet the ground. Pressure may announce itself, or a softness, or a dullness. It does not matter which. We are not going to adjust circulation, not going to argue with numbness or praise comfort. We are simply letting the body be the body, while awareness stands present, noticing. Note again, the contact is an object to you. The feel is an object to you. The thought, "This is comfortable," is an object to you. You are the one to whom these report. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Let attention include the arches now, the insteps, the tops of the feet where the fabric brushes the skin, the delicate hum that may be there or may not. Notice that the picture changes from instant to instant, stronger here, lighter there, yet the knower of it does not flicker. The movie plays, the screen is still. Which are you? If you could put the feeling in your hand, you would see at once that the hand is not the feeling. So here, the I is not the felt. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Move gently to the heels and the ankles, the bone, the sleeve of skin around it, the meeting of foot and leg. Perhaps there is a firmness, perhaps fatigue, perhaps nothing you can name. Let it be. We are not going to try to strengthen, soothe, or fix. We are only going to see rightly. Are you in the ankle as a thing among things? Or are you aware of the ankle as a sight in consciousness, even if the eyes are closed? The ankle appears. The I does not appear. The ankle changes. The I is that to which change appears. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Hold right there and notice the quiet that opens when the knower is not confused with the known. In it, but not of it, the foot may be weary or well, but you are not at the mercy of its report. Identity is not under the skin. Identity is the invisible awareness in which skin is known. And as that is felt, even faintly, hear your password and let it settle the point. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Let attention rise, almost as if a tide were lifting through the calves and shins, the back of the lower legs, where muscle holds memory of steps taken and steps to come. There may be a throb, a steady warmth, a cool hollow, a stretch that suggests yesterday's effort, or nothing at all in particular. Let it be just as it is. We are not going to try to make circulation better, not going to coach sensation into a saint. We are only going to see rightly. The entire field of feeling is appearing to you. The picture alters moment to moment, yet the one to whom it alters does not. The body appears. The I does not. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Come to the knees now, those hinges of passage, so often loaded with the history of running and kneeling and, the world's forecast of what a knee will be 10 years hence. Put all that down. Do not argue cartilage. Do not bless or curse X-rays in memory. Let the knee be an appearance in awareness. Are you in a joint? Or is a joint reporting in consciousness? The creak is an object. The ease is an object. The very idea, my knee, is an object. You are the one to whom all of this presents itself. The knee changes when you stand, when you sit, when you climb. But the knower is not a climber or a sitter. The knower is the light in which motion is seen. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Let attention spread through the thighs, the heavy strength at the front, the long cords at the back, the weight where the chair meets you, the brush of fabric, perhaps a sense of power, perhaps of fatigue. See how swiftly images come, strong, weak, young, old. Let them come, let them go. You are not assembling a verdict. You are noticing a play of sensations on the screen of awareness. The movie plays, the screen is still. If all these textures report to you, which are you? The changing texture or the unchanging knower? Do not try to relax the thigh or energize it. Do not try to do anything to it. Bring instead the realization that presence is here, whether the picture sparkles or dulls. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now we are crossing the belt line of human fear into the abdomen, where a whole world seems to speak at once. Tightness like a band, a churning, a flutter, a stone where a softness was, or even an odd emptiness. This is the favorite stage for the suggestion that this is me, and the casting director called Fear will pin its name tag here and insist on starring roles. Dread, anticipation, a sinking. Do not flinch. Ask very simply, does the knot know itself? Or is there awareness of a knot? Does anxiety know anything? Or is there awareness in which the pattern called anxiety appears? If awareness is present, and it is, then fear has already been witnessed, and what is witnessed is not master. You can be in it, but not of it. Do not try to remove the tightness. Do not try to sweeten the stomach. We are not going to do anything to it. We are going to bring recognition of presence right where the sensation claims authority. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Let attention include the chest now, the lift and fall, the bird wing flutter that sometimes visits the heart, the wide plate of the ribs, the breath that may be full or clipped or searching. The world has taught us to take these movements as omens. Let us unlearn that noose. Breath is an object. Pulse is an object. The thought, I must calm down, is an object. Who is the one to whom breath presents? Do not try to make the heart calm. Do not try to deepen the breath. That is bargaining with shadows. Stand still and let presence be presence. Whisper your password, not to force a change, but to anchor identity. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. In that recognition, watch how the stage lights dim on fear's performance. Not because we chased it from the theater, but because the audience has awakened as the light itself. Hold here a moment and taste the distinction. Sensation happens. Emotion colors. Images comment. Yet there is a you before all of that. Not born of organs, not riding the breath, not thumping with the heart. The body appears, the I does not. Fear may use the body as a stage, but it cannot rule the one who is aware of the stage. Leave the body to be the body. Let feeling be feeling. Let breath be breath. And let your concern be only this, that you feel, even faintly, the surging of spirit within, the quiet authority that needs no outcome to be itself. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Let attention come to the throat now, the hollow where swallow stirs, the column where voice sometimes trembles, the delicate network where the world has told you danger lives here. Do not steady the swallow, Do not smooth the voice. We are not going to try to do anything to it. Let there be exactly what there is: tightness, openness, a tickle, a silence. Ask very simply, is there a little self lodged in the throat, or is the throat an appearance to you? The clearing of the throat is an object. The urge to speak is an object. The sound that may come is an object. You are the one to whom it all reports. The body appears. The eye does not. Let the field widen to the jaw and mouth, the hinge of chewing, the play of tongue and teeth, the lips resting or poised to form a word. The world has taught us to hang identity on the voice, to say, "This sound is me." But listen deeper. Voice is a movement in air. Even its absence is reported to you. The tension that holds the jaw is a sensation, and the idea, "I should relax," is another sensation clothed as thought. This is a sensation. This is a part. But where is the I? Move now to the eyes. Here, most of us install our pretend headquarters. I am here, behind the face, a watcher at the windows. Close the eyes or open them. It makes no difference to awareness. There is seeing, or there is the memory of seeing. There are colors, shadows, sparkles, or dark, all of it changing. But the knower of change is not behind two marbles. If the eyes are tired, that tiredness is an object. If they are bright, brightness is an object. Can you find the watcher as a thing at a location? Or do you discover only the thought of a center? Who said that you're naked, exposed as a little creature peering from two sockets? Who declared you to be a vulnerable object inside a fragile container? Not spirit. That was the whisper of hypnotism, the old story the world has told itself so long it mistook the echo for law. Let attention include the forehead, the temples, the scalp, the crown where, if anywhere, one might expect to touch the border of being. Feel the prickle of hair, the skin's cool or warm, the sense of a shape. Now, decisively, look. Can you locate a boundary where awareness ends and the body begins? Does awareness meet the skull as a wall, or is wall only a picture in awareness? Trace with gentle attention around the rim of the ears, across the back of the head, over the crown. Do you find a line beyond which you are not? Or do you find that all of this, shape, pressure, outline, is appearing in you, and the you is not confined by the picture it beholds? This is not me. This is my body. I am invisible. Let the sentence not be a slogan, but a report. The head is reported. The eye that knows cannot be pointed to, measured, or carted about. You are not inside the skin. The skin is inside awareness. And so when fear says, "You are trapped in here," answer it with the password, not as magic, as truth realized. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Liberty from skull-bound identity. Liberty from the verdict that a boundary of flesh can include or exclude the life you are. Stand in that. We are in the experience of body, but not of it. The body can be the body, while the I is presence, unlocatable, unharmed, unconfined. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now, if you have followed this looking with even a little honesty, you will have noticed something so simple that the mind is tempted to call it nothing, and yet it is everything. You did not create the knower by scanning from toe to crown. You did not, by an effort of attention, manufacture awareness the way you might flex a muscle. No. The awareness was already present, before the sensation announced itself, before the thought named it, before the mind supplied its little captions and forecasts. The movie began and ended, reels of comfort and discomfort. And all the while the screen was there, unmade by the picture. That is what you have touched. This is not a belief added to you. This is a seeing of what has always been you. Do not let the mind now rush in with labels and think that the label is the realization. To say awareness, consciousness, presence, is only to place another object in the room. The word is not the light. The concept is not the I. What we are pointing to is prior to naming, prior to the rise of I like or I don't like, prior to the body's weather report. It is that by which liking and disliking, whether fair or storm, come to be known at all. When you rest as this, you discover why we have insisted that we are not going to try to do anything to the body or to the condition. We are going to realize God's presence, and in that realization, liberty is found there. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now hear this correction, and let it settle everything back to law. The belief, I am enclosed in flesh, is like the sum 2 times 2 equals 5. It has no statute in the universe to enforce it. You can write it in chalk 1,000 times on 1,000 blackboards, and the chalk will dust your hands. But no law of mathematics will ever rise to make it true. So with the hypnotic suggestion, I live inside the body. It has behind it only repetition, custom, fear, and the echo of a world that does not know its source. There is no divine ordinance behind it. There is only a suggestion claiming authority it does not possess. The moment you see it as suggestion and not law, you do not need to wrestle it to the ground. You stand still and watch it dissolve in the light of what is. And when identity shifts to this standpoint, even slightly, notice what follows, not as a reward bargained for, but as the natural consequence of a different altitude. The atmosphere of living changes. Old compulsions loosen. Appetites that demanded your hours begin to release their grip. Relationships reorder without the noise of your managing. Even the body, left to be the body, often takes on a different tone because you have withdrawn the sentence that its report is your life. I still lived, but not in the same atmosphere. That is the mark. You are in it, but not of it. The picture on the screen may freshen, but our gratitude is for the light, not for the scene. This is why fear begins to lose its jurisdiction. Death and disease terrify only the one who believes he is contained in matter and measured by its clocks. The invisible I, the awareness that is before thought, before sensation, cannot be threatened by a medical forecast or a calendar page, because those forecasts and pages themselves appear within it. Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given from above. Do you see? Forecasts can address the body picture. They cannot address the knower of the picture. And as you stand there, not trying to get well, not bargaining for outcomes, but feeling, even faintly, that surging of spirit which is peace not as the world giveth, you discover that fear has lost the one it meant to bind. Let the conclusion be as simple as the discovery. Awareness is not produced by the body. The body is known within awareness. Therefore, do not let your concern be for health, for length of days, for reputation or supply. Let your concern be this and this alone. Sit in quietness until you feel the spirit stirring. Hold to your password until it ceases to be words and becomes fact. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Then leave the body to be the body, the world to be the world, and abide as the I that was present before a single sensation arose, and will be present when this hour is forgotten. Now, if this has begun to dawn, we can speak of the way it settles into life. 3 stages by which we let the body be the body without letting it define us. Do not turn this into a ladder to climb or a badge to wear. It is a map of maturation in consciousness. All of us begin where we begin, and it is all right. The point is not to get somewhere. The point is to see what is governing us and to yield to presence until it alone is government. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Stage 1 is what I have called the beginner's metaphysics, the period of denial and pushing. Pain knocks and we open with a loud no. Fear speaks and we drown it out with brave words. An appearance rises and we argue it to the floor. It helps at first. It stops the hemorrhage of panic. It introduces the notion that appearances are not powers. But notice, the body remains the center of attention. We are, in effect, saying, "This picture is my life, and I must whip it into shape." We are still wrestling shadows on the wall. It is like correcting 2 times 2 equals 5 by shouting. There may be relief, but no law has been seen. Do not condemn this stage. Honor it as kindergarten. Only do not stay in kindergarten when the teacher is in the room. Stage 2 appears more refined. We become skillful managers of thought and breath and mood. We count to 4 on the inhale and 6 on the exhale. We affirm before breakfast and visualize at noon. We place sentries at the gates of the mind, and for a while, peace seems to be something we can engineer. Better, yes. Honest, yes. But oh, how exhausting. Behind the regimen still stands the premise, I, as a mind in a body, must keep the world and this flesh in order. The I is still the actor trying to run the play. We have substituted a cleaner set of tools, but it is still the arm of flesh. It is still outcome craft. It cannot deliver liberty because it cannot deliver the one demonstration. We are not going to try to do anything to it. We are going to realize presence. And when we attain that, liberty will be found there. Stage 3 is the turning. This is not an improvement of technique. It is the surrender of identity. Here you face the death of material sense, the willingness to lose the false I in a body, rather than preserve it in better health, better mood, better management. Here you say, and mean, I'm not trying to get well. I seek the kingdom first. Sick or well, rich or poor, praised or forgotten, my life is God. Here you discover what it means to be in it, but not of it. You care for the body as you would a good instrument, clean strings, a reasonable case, a tuning when needed. But you do not worship it. You do not call it your life. You do not let its weather dictate your sky. You leave the body to be the body, and you abide as the invisible I, the awareness in which the body is known. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. There is a cost, and there is a freedom. The cost is that certain habits will not follow you in here. Old entertainments lose their salt. Certain conversations fall to the ground. A few friends cannot or will not walk this way, and you must bless them and go on. Even the image you cherished of yourself, clever, agreeable, strong, will molt. They couldn't follow me in there. Neither could I go back. But what arrives in their place is not a vacancy, it is presence. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. Not the peace of perfect numbers or reports, but the peace of realized identity. And with that peace, a simple governance for every hour. Do not let your concern be for health or length of days or the praise of men. Let your concern be that, in quietness, you feel that surging of spirit within you. From there, live naturally. Pay your bills, wash your dishes, keep your appointments, tend your body with ordinary kindness, and never, never consent to the lie that any of these is your life. Your life is God, and where the Spirit is realized, liberty is already present. Fear has a rhythm, and if you watch closely, you will hear its drum. It never speaks in presence, it speaks in time. What if, soon, later, inevitable. It borrows the clock, it borrows the calendar, and it borrows the body as its prop table. A flutter here, a tightness there, a heat, a chill, an ache, a blank silence that it parades as evidence. Look, it says, proof. But what is it doing? It is attempting to claim identity from matter. You live in here, and this is your fate. That is the whole game. The argument is never really about a knee or a number. The argument is about who you are. Therefore, the counter-practice must be instant and identity first. Do not debate fear. Do not examine the symptom as if it were a text you must parse. Do not bargain with God. If you will remove this, I will be faithful. No. Turn within immediately, the moment the jolt is felt. Withdraw consent to the picture's authority, and, without strain, take up your password, not as comfort language, as alignment with what is. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Whisper it or hear it inwardly, again and again, until the words are not words, but a felt fact. Until the tide of presence, however slight, is tangible. We are not going to try to do anything to the condition. We are going to realize presence. And when we attain that, liberty will be found there. Make it operational. The second the stomach drops, the chest tightens, the mind sprints into later. That is your bell. Stop. It can be in the grocery aisle, at the desk, in the night. Close the eyes if you can. If you cannot, do it with eyes open. Drop the storyline mid-sentence. Answer with the refrain, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Rest there, not counting seconds, but staying until there is even a small stirring, a softening, a widening that is not manufactured by breath or thought. Do not peek at the symptom to see if it has obeyed. That is bargaining in a new suit. Let your concern be only that you feel the surging of spirit within you. In that recognition, you have stepped out of time into presence, out of the stage into the light. You are in it, but not of it. Seal it with identity, quietly, decisively. This is my body. I am invisible. Let the body be the body. Sensation may continue, subside, or change costumes entirely. None of that is your life. The hypnotist's sentence, "You are inside the skin and at its mercy," is answered and dismissed. The witness has taken his seat again as witness. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Practice this 100 times a day if 100 fears parade. Bad news in the inbox, answer with liberty. A pang in the night, answer with liberty. The waiting room's atmosphere thick with forecasts, answer with liberty. Each time, do not try to do anything to it. Bring realization. Stay a moment longer than the mind prefers until presence is felt. Then move on with your hour. Write the email, pay the bill, tend the child, without letting any of it define you. The refrain is your real-time interrupt, your shibboleth out of mass hypnotism back to the household of God. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now let us make this living and simple. From this hour, set for yourself a plain rule. At least 3 times a day, sit in quietness, not to heal, not to fix, not to get, to realize presence. That is the whole of it. Do not negotiate with the clock. Do not ask the body to behave. We are not going to try to do anything to it. We are going to bring to remembrance and then to realization the presence that already is. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. What shall you do in the silence? Take your seat. On the edge of the bed on waking, in a chair at noon, in the stillness before sleep. If you can close the eyes, close them. If not, let them rest. Let the body be the body. If it fidgets, it fidgets. If it is quiet, it is quiet. Notice that before a single sensation is named, awareness is present. Sensations come and go. Let them. Thoughts arrive in costumes of yesterday and tomorrow. Let them pass without entertainment. When attention wanders into story, gently, without scolding, return to your password. Not as a charm, but as alignment with fact. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Whisper it. Hear it. Let it warm in the chest until, however slightly, there is a stirring, not manufactured by breath or by will, the surging of spirit. Sit there until presence is felt, and then rise to your hour, without checking to see if the picture has changed. Your concern is not the picture. Your concern is that the light be realized. Make this practical. Morning. Before the world speaks, let spirit be first speech. Midday. Interrupt the roll of tasks. Step out of time for a few minutes and remember who you are. Evening. Before the night gathers its forecasts, return to presence. Whether this takes 3 minutes or 30 is not the point. The point is that you do not leave your seat until there is at least the slightest sense of widening, of authority not your own. Guard against the subtle sabotage that will creep in. Is it working yet? Have I gotten anything? That question is the old hypnotism reasserting the personal self as judge and jury. Drop it as you would a hot coal. You are not running an experiment on God. You are returning to God. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Make a clean commitment. Even if nothing changes outwardly today, you will not abandon this way, because you are not seeking effects. You are seeking God. When you say, "I'm not trying to get well," you have to mean it. Give up gratitude for healings, for extra dollars, for any form of good that can be counted. Be grateful for God alone. Let your vow be simple. Sick or well, rich or poor, praised or ignored, I will sit in quietness until I feel that surging of the Spirit within me. And then I will live from there. And then see what happens. Not to the picture, but to you. As this becomes as natural as breathing, you will discover you can be in the world, in the body, in responsibilities, answering emails, changing diapers, meeting deadlines, without being of the fear that rules the world. The body may report its weather. The market may swing. Headlines may shout. Yet the witness abides as witness. This is my body. I am invisible. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Let that be your rule, your refuge, and your release. Sit in quietness, feel the surging of spirit, and live your day from that realized presence. You are in it, but not of it. Thank you.